Hey folks, hope you're well. I tell you what, I think I'm probably one vlog away from starting to wear a beanie hat in videos or some kind of head cover, because I basically come up here 20 minutes ago. I have to sort out the room, as I mentioned in a previous video, but I noticed that my hair is getting really curly at the back and it flicks up, and it was flicking up loads. So I had all these little spiky bits. But I was laying on the sofa and I think I've just got to come upstairs and it's just flicked my hair up. But it was terrible, and I kept trying to record and it was distracting me how bad it looked. So I spent 10 minutes trying to tame it. I'm in desperate need of a haircut, and yeah, it's ridiculous. But I think in the meantime, I'm just gonna keep patting it down and maybe cover it up. So since the last video, I have pulled the trigger and bought a computer. Annoyingly, I had the spec up on my iPad and my iPad's just run out of battery. But basically, the spec I posted before, the one bit of feedback everyone gave me, and this whole video isn't going to be about my PC, I just wanted to give people an update. The one piece of feedback everyone told me was basically that whilst the power supply unit was enough, it'd probably be better to have a higher one there. PC Specialist kept saying, you have selected 550, we reckon this will only need about 430, even if we give it a 20% jump, so don't go above 550. Several people messaged me, and then I was showing Pab my finished build, and he said, I told him, a lot of people have said I need to get a better power supply unit, and basically he went, I would, because it's better for future use. It's the one thing that might struggle in future, it's the one thing that might cause you problems. Just get it in and at least you've done it. It wasn't much different. It was quite funny actually. What ended up happening was I kept kind of umming and ahhing about adding it in, umming and ahhing about the minor differences. Somebody else said to me about the storage, maybe basically I'd put like half a terabyte hard drive in there, and someone said if you're doing a lot of channel work, you'll probably have a lot of graphics, a lot of stuff like that to store, and over time that's going to mount up and become quite hard to manage. And they were like, but you have got a big pile of old hard drives on the side, as you mentioned before. And I was like, yeah, but they said you might want to have something bigger for that, think about it. The price difference was only about 15 quid, so I thought might as well jump it up. After all the umming and ahhing and thinking, is this too much, is this a problem, just as I was about to buy it, I thought, well, I tried to find it. It says, do you have a promo code? So I tried to find one, couldn't find one. Then typed in on Twitter, PC Specialist promo code, and someone had literally tweeted like that day to them going, I've just ordered my computer, I used the Break promo code. And there's a YouTuber called Break apparently who has a sponsorship with them, and if you put his name in, you get £30 off. So all my umming and ahhing, I basically ended up, I think it ended up £5 cheaper than when I started, despite the upgrades. I ordered it, and then I thought I should have gone back and raised it another 30 quid. I could have justified that £30 saving to spend an extra £70 on a graphics card. But yeah, I wasn't sure what Claire would think. I told my friend that I'd ordered my PC, and he was like, oh, I'm having a look now. And I said, and I got £30 off. And he was like, I'm ordering mine today. So now he's going to order his, because he wants to try and sort it out. He was like, that £30 has pushed me over the edge, knowing that I can get a discount now. So hopefully I'll push some of you over the edge as well. But I rang Claire and I said, oh, I ordered it. And I sort of jokingly said to her about the £30. And she was like, all right, no. And I told her the full amount. And I said, well, I didn't realise you have a year before you have to start paying anything back. That's just the way they do it. I thought I'd have monthly instalment straight away. So I have a chance to kind of throw money at it if I have any good commission at work or anything like that, and hopefully pay it off before the day it's due. But then otherwise I just start paying what I already thought I was going to be paying. I went into it thinking I was going to be paying it from this month, and I was like, yep, that's fine, this much a month, job done. I still could do that, and I will do that. I think I'll just start chucking that much in at the bare minimum, and then at least in a year's time it's going to be a bit better looking. Anyway, I told Claire this, and she was like, you saved 30 quid, did you? I guess you're getting me Domino's for dinner. And I was like, oh, okay. So it worked in two ways. I had a right result with the PC, and then she wanted to take away for dinner. So I was like, what a good day. I'm well excited, but I had that excitement tempered slightly by the fact that their build turnaround is like 30 days at the minimum at the moment. There are people on their forum who have been waiting for a build for like 90 days. So I may not have this computer for 3 months, like at the worst. I could have it end of March, but still there's plenty going on, plenty to sort out. It's been interesting actually, because I didn't mention this before. I kind of just forgot about it, but the day before Claire got paid this month, she suddenly realised that every year they give her they give social care workers who are in certain sort of the level she's in is quite severe, and they give them like a retention thing to keep doing it because it's hard. So she suddenly realised she was getting that this month. So that and me getting paid meant that I looked at it. We're about just over halfway towards saving enough to convert our garage now. I think we're about £2.5 away from being sorted, and then it means that I'm fully set up. We've already started to hit that kind of. I said to her, I want to have the desk over the far side of the room with a shelf behind me, you know, and just generally setting it up. And I said I wouldn't mind having some sort of soundproofing on the wall because there's a washing machine behind it. And she was like, hang on, this is supposed to be like another lounge with a sofa bed in it that people who come to stay are going to sleep in. And I was like, well, yeah, on that side of the room it's going to be a sofa bed, and then there's going to be a TV in the middle that I'm going to play on when I'm streaming, and I'll have the setup so that I can look at the TV from my desk and record with the camera there, and it won't, you know, it'll all kind of work, but equally it'll just look like a bedroom with a PC set up in the corner and soundproofing. So we're already coming to a bit of a blows on that, but not in any aggression, just more of a my vision of it is more well, it's much more like what Kev's got in his fancy office that he's got, but I don't need that. I'm not saying I want to get to that point. I'm just saying, you know, I'd like it to be set up quite well so I can just sit. I want to be able to sit down and the light will be on and it'll be bright and it'll be there and I'll be camera there and I'll literally just have to kind of record, edit, upload all from the same place without all the faff, and hopefully that'll work. So I'm excited. But yeah, I'm in the meantime, because I don't think we're going to be at the point where we can get that. I mean, at a conservative kind of, if everything went to plan and everything went nicely, I could probably order someone to come in and do the garage conversion by like September, October, if I didn't like reverse my car into the house again and stuff like that, if the dog wasn't ill and things like that. That would be nice to think that by the end of the year I could be properly recording in a space that I can, because at the moment I'm worried I can't really get stuck into it prolifically if Claire needs to come and use this room to sleep in at night, and I want to stay up a bit later to edit. You know, I'm gonna have to do something else. I'm gonna have to leave it till tomorrow. I'm gonna have to whatever, you know. Whereas if it's down there, I can just stay there till like 12:30 and then come up here and go to sleep and then get up early and go back down there or whatever. And it's only on me if I'm into it, you know. Hopefully I won't have to do that much early on, I suppose, until that's ready. But I'm just thinking about these things. We have to rearrange our bedroom a bit in the meantime. And this is something you might be able to help me with. I've been looking for we've got quite a heavy old Panasonic TV. It's a 42-inch, but it's like 42-inch when the screen was, say, like, that's 42 inches. And then it's got this extra thick black thing around the edge. Like, if it was all screen, it'd probably be a bloody, like, I don't know, 50-inch TV. But it's 42 inches with 2 inches around every edge, at least. Very heavy, and there were mounting kits for it back in the day, but I said to Claire, if we can find a mounting kit that would mount it to the door in our room with a shelf underneath it for the PlayStation, we could A, start using the door to open and close it, but B, it would mean that we wouldn't have to have these whacking great big stand things here that we've currently got where the TV is sat on top of them, and I could have the desk underneath the telly, and again I could be in that position where I'm playing the game like this, or, you know, I'd have to work it just right that the camera was kind of where I was looking and I could be talking to people while also playing, and it would work quite nicely. But I typed in door TV mount and all this sort of thing, and it just didn't work. And I'm not sure I really want to be drilling holes through the TV, through the door. I kind of wanted something that could just go over the top of it and around it, and then just connect up or something. In my head, it was like a bar that would go over the back, bars that would go round. You'd screw something in the middle so that it was all kind of tight, and then almost like the weight of it, because it's connected to the TV and the door's quite sturdy, the weight of it would just hold it in place anyway. And then it can't fall off if I open the door because it's completely encapsulating the door. But such a thing doesn't seem to exist, and I haven't got the metal skills to make it. If I did, they sound like a bit of a winner. They probably do exist. I can't find one. I don't really know where to look but I googled it and it didn't come up. So any tips, let me know. So yeah, that's the long and short of my TV, laptop, sorry, PC setup, all this sort of thing. I am still very buzzing, but it's a little bit deflating to suddenly realise that I'm in a queue. My dad's PC was ordered probably 2 weeks ago, and it says they're going to build it on the 5th. I read online that once they build it, it takes them another 7 days or so to dispatch. So he'll probably get his mid-October, mid-March. So realistically, I can say April probably, which is fine. Gives me more time to research and think. I was chatting to someone earlier about the fact that the Pokemon Company are announcing new things tomorrow, so they might be announcing a new release, a new remake. We're hoping of Gen 4. They've got Pokemon Snap coming out later this year, all stuff like that. So it may be that I end up doing a Twitch if I can time it right. I can't remember when Snatch is it Snap? Snap, not Snatch. Pokemon Snatch, the gangster game. Pokemon Snap. If I can time it right, that's coming out as the new game, and I could maybe stream that, record that and do videos on that while doing a Nuzlocke. That'd work quite nicely to have a new thing and a new conversational thing going. I'm hoping they'll announce they're bringing out the new games like at Christmas or something, and then I can have just built up 6 or 7 months of momentum of knowing what I'm doing and that kind of thing, and then bang, a new game comes out. That'd be superb. So yeah, it's interesting to think there's proper content that coming out, happening. They've got their big they're doing some sort of music festival, which I'm intrigued about. I don't really know what to think with that. They've got quite a few people, Katy Perry, someone Malone, I can't remember his name now, Post Malone, something like that. So yeah, it's interesting. There was something else I wanted to talk about with that. I can't think what it was, so I'm just going to move on to the rest of the day, really. I thought I was going to write today, and it's been one of those days where just the kids are not up for it. Like, Ollie has not been in the mood, bless him, for school. He's just been really grumpy, getting really upset with his games, getting really upset with wanting to unmute and talk lots. He has his TA meetings on a Monday and a Thursday, and I think 15 minutes into today's one, I just sort of mentioned that he wasn't really feeling anything today, which was getting a bit off. And she said, well, do you want to keep going, Ollie? Do you want to end it? And he just went, bye, I'm going now. And she was like, okay, we can finish up here. And she left. And then he had his teacher for a reading thing, and he was getting a bit funny in that. But she was a bit more, she gave him a bit of banter and kind of cheered him up a bit. And he's supposed to be writing an answer down, and she said he could type it. But then in the end, he just told her what he wanted the answer to be. She just typed it out quickly and sent it so that it's on his file, because it's more about reading comprehension. And the question was something like, the character had been asked to do something, and how would Oliver make the character then do that thing and then carry on the story from there? I can't know, it's in the stupid curls. So he did that, and it was fine, but he's just not in the mood. It's weird thinking they're back in a week and a bit now, and it's just, he's starting to wear out. It's like, you've just done a week off, he's starting to wear out now. It's not good. I'm sure they'll be fine. They'll get into the routine. It's just getting him to sleep. I've been thinking about, Anna gave me some tools to look at, and some other people have told me about the sleep. What is it? I don't want to say melanin. I think that's the skin thing. Some sort of hormone you can take that will help you sleep more. But I don't know. I'll think about it if it's a problem. It's just something that we need to look at. Maybe he's not going to sleep early enough, and it's starting to really affect him. Poor old Ben's starting to lose his mind about being home, but we've decided, I kind of knew this, but I didn't really think about it much. We could have sent Ben to nursery at any point throughout lockdown, and we didn't, because it just seemed like the safer thing to do to keep him home. So with them all going back on the 8th, I've said to Claire, I'm happy for him to start going in on Monday, if they'll take him, which I think they have. I think we've got it all booked, because he's just losing his mind, bless him. And I'm starting to worry about him in terms of, he's at that age now where he could potentially start showing signs of whether he's autistic, because that's when Oliver started to show it. And I keep noticing little things, and I was saying to Claire, like, he was standing watching TV earlier, and he just started turning around in a circle exactly like Oliver used to, and just little bits like that. And I'm like, okay, I've got to keep an eye on this now. I think we're much more equipped than we were when Oliver, bless him, was doing this. But I'm thinking he might just be getting a bit anxious and hecked up because he's been at home for so long and he's not had any kind of release. We take him out for a run around every now and again and stuff like that, but he's just bored. He wants to play with his friends, and yeah, it's just interesting how lockdown has had a bit of a weird impact on him, but he's young enough, he should bounce back from it. But I'm just starting to notice his little signs. I'm thinking he's at that age now where it's going to start creeping out if it's there. But then I don't want to be, you know, that phrase they said in House where it's like you're hearing clops on the floor and you're thinking it's zebras when it's obviously horses. I'm looking for it. Do you know what I mean? He could do anything and I could be like, oh, Ollie does that. Oliver drinks water. Oliver likes eating ham. That's exactly, you know what I mean? And equally, Emily probably stands in her room spinning sometimes and I've never questioned it. I don't know if she does. Do you know what I mean? I don't think she does, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm keeping an eye on that. That's just, I'm sure I'm not the first parent to start keeping an eye out and worrying and that kind of thing. I'm sure his teachers will love that if we're sending Oliver Mark 2 into school. At least, again, they'll be more prepared and they'll understand more. And I won't have to go through another, however many weeks it was, parenting course to justify the situation, which was just... I still can't believe that happened. Looking back, that, I mean, I'm going off on a bit of a tangent there, but having to be put on that to just prove that it's not me is mad. On more positive notes, I was reading and tangents, massive tangents, because I mentioned Emily, it reminded me. I was reading an article earlier about Lost and how the TV show and how so many people still have the myth and the idea in their head that the ending of that was, I don't know whether to say it out loud. Well, basically, loads of people think that the characters were dead all along. That's not really a spoiler because they bloody weren't. But so many people think they were. And so this article would come out going, look, it's been 11 years since this show finished or aired or whatever it was. And this myth just won't die. People won't. And it's funny because I saw the headline and I thought it's genuinely something that if I was talking to you, the person watching, and Lost came up and you went, oh, Lost, God, yeah, what a letdown that was. I couldn't believe they were all dead all along. In my mind, I wouldn't say this because I'm a polite person, but in my mind, like, I just think, don't like this person so much anymore. I can't help it. Like, not, if you said to me, oh, I thought Lost was crap, I'm not going to think, oh, I don't like you. But if you said, oh, Lost went a bit off the rails, I can't believe they were all dead, I'd be like, this person either never really watched it and has just judged it, or watched 6 seasons of a program and didn't get it. It just shows a very big lack of effort and it annoys me. And it doesn't happen often, obviously, and I'm not saying that's a blanket rule, but it's just one of those things. And it's funny, actually, I remember when I was at uni, chatting to Kev about it, that there was a lot of people who we found kept thinking that, and we both agreed it was just something that it just puts me off people. It's just a red flag. If I'm lucky that I'm married and settled, if I was dating and someone brought that up on an early sort of third date, I'd be like, right, I've got to go. Sorry, my phone just rang. I've got to leave now. I'll call you. Don't worry. And I'd be just ghosting. So, you know, I'm sure that's probably quite a common. If you've said that opinion recently and you've been ghosted a lot recently, stop bringing up Lost on dates because you're wrong. This has got away from me. But the point of that was I realised that's such a cracking show, and Emily's about the right age. It's about a 12, I think, and it's on Disney Plus on Stars now. Or Star, whatever their thing's called. It's literally the only thing on there that I thought was worth watching. So this isn't me trying to plug Disney stuff because I don't need it and I'm not being paid. But someone told me to watch X-Files, which is on there, which I've seen bits of. I watched it when I was younger. I don't really remember it. But Lost is on there, and I said to Emily, "You've got to watch it from start to finish." I kind of feel like it's a dangerous road because if she comes to me and goes, "Yeah, I just finished watching it. I thought it was all right. I can't believe they're all dead anyway," I'll be like, "You've got to move out. I'm sorry, but we haven't got enough room for you. Your room's going to become my studio." I mean, that would solve my problem. I could move my recording stuff into her room and she could just sleep in the gutter where she belongs for her poor opinions on Lost. But it's, yeah, it's just a red line. People just you can't say that. You got to, so if you do think that and you're sat there going, "Oh my God, I don't want to offend Sheepdog," go sit through 6 seasons of Lost again and then come back to me and tell me what you think. Because, yeah. That is a hill I'm willing to die on. Other than that, I didn't do any writing. That's the one thing I was most disappointed about today. I desperately want to do some. I desperately need to do some. I feel it in my bones that I need to do it. But I've just been derailed by children. People did say to me, "Why are you booking off a week when they're all still at home?" And I do feel like I've been played. I didn't really expect Boris to open schools on the 8th, otherwise I would have booked that week off and that would have been spectacular. I don't really want to burn another week's worth of holiday. I might, and I probably wouldn't get away with it either. My bosses would be like, "You literally had a week off just now. Well, how dare you?" But I may try and book another one later in the year where it's just me off, and when Claire's in the office and stuff like that, because that'd be dream. Like just a house to myself would be a dream. We do have holidays booked and stuff like that we're supposed to be going on, but whether or not they happen is still unknowable, isn't it? I feel like the country's being really weird at the moment. There was a rumor earlier that we may get to host Euro 2021, and it's like, well, why do we want the whole of Europe coming here to watch football? Like, that's insane. We're literally this close to beating COVID. We're like, we're not even beating it, just at least learning to live with it with as few deaths as possible. And then you're like, yeah, bring, I don't know, 1 million people in to watch football. That's exactly what we need. We're just going to end up with a variant for every bloody game. You'll be like, oh, that's the England v Belgium variant, and that's the France v Italy variant, and we're just going to end up with all these silly. Oh, it's just insane. Like, and it will also rule us out from hosting it in future. They'll say, oh, you hosted it in 2021. You don't want to host it again in your lifetime. And so my grandkids will be the ones who get to watch a proper Euros in their own country or a proper World Cup. I'd rather we said we'll host it this time because it's a turd, and then you give us the World Cup in 4 years, or whichever one. To be fair, they've done that. That's Qatar. Whichever one it is further down the line that hasn't been announced yet. Give us that World Cup in 16 years so that Sheepdog gets to see a World Cup in his own country. But at the same time, we'll take this poison chalice and we'll poison half the country. It's just ludicrous. Don't do it. Or do it behind closed doors. Anyway, again, this is another tangent I didn't need to do, but it just feels like we're so close to the line now with getting out of lockdown, and then they're saying little things like that, and it's just like, you don't need to be saying things like that. Just everyone be sensible. I feel like we're getting the kids back a little bit quicker than I probably would have wanted to, but fine, let's do it. The kids are losing their minds. I don't want to be back in the office until it's like properly. I mean, I want to work from home. If anyone from work with that power is watching, I want to work from home. That's the best of the best. But yeah, it's just worrying, isn't it? It just seems like I don't want to be in lockdown 5 in like this time next year, or lockdown 6, and just wondering how the hell they've let it get to that point. But yeah, let's not talk about that anymore. I'm going to try and keep this a lockdown free space from now on, because it just seems like just an unnecessarily negative thing. Ollie asked me if he could be on a vlog at some point in the near future, so I might have him in for a brief bit of one. I'm just trying to think what to do, really. Or I might try and do something at the weekend. I don't know. Might ask him what we can do. It was him who wanted to do it. He can solve the problem. But I thought that'd be fun. I did say I was going to do a Q&A this week, and then I've just not got around to it because I've been doing videos instead. So I'll do one soon. No one's really put any questions in either, so I'm kind of thinking I don't want to rely on people having questions on the day. It puts you on the spot, and then it's just hard to manage. So I've had a few up front. At least I'd know what I was answering, and I could get more thrown in once we got warmed up. But yeah, other than that, I think everything's fine. Got one more day of proper holiday left, and it's the weekend. It's gone really quick. I'm a little bit sad that it's gone so quick, but I do feel a lot better. And I'm quite looking forward to cracking on at work. It's the end of quarter madness where everyone starts buying stuff, so that should be a good thing. I'd like to be saying at the end of March, do you know what? Work's been so good, we're this far away from the garage, or we've got the garage booked. Do you know what I mean? Claire's really ramped up for it now. She's just like, we're so close. She's genuinely at the point now where she's saying we should start looking at it properly, getting quotes, looking at this, looking at that, ready. And I'm just thinking, I don't know, maybe we're not, like, we couldn't book it now, but we are. As I say, it's only a couple of grand. I just need to make some phone calls at work and just start, I don't know, ringing up councils and stuff and just saying, come on, do this, do that, just something. I'm in control of my own destiny. I can make it happen. I just got to sheepdog it. That used to be the thing. I'm not going to go into too much of detail. I might save that for another video. Remind me if you want me to. But when I was at uni with Kev, and well, ever since I've known Claire, I've sheepdogged things. I used to figure it out. I used to just solve the problem and make money, but only what I needed. I can't use that power for becoming rich, which is very frustrating. But if you said to me back in the day, it'd be like, Claire's car has lost a part, it's broken, it needs this much money, I would just make it appear. not through any illegal means, but I would make it happen. And I'll have to do a video about that, because that was quite a gift, and I'm very rusty on it because, you know, it's one of those things. I've got soft with the luxury of our, you know, we've got everything we need. We've bought all the furniture. The house is there. We're just kind of doing less important things now. So I need to get back into that. I mean, again, this is something Kev did say to me. You're not hungry enough anymore. You're well fed, so you're not trying as hard. So maybe I need to starve myself in whatever metaphorical way, and then I'll be more clever. So yeah, I'll start thinking about that. And go from there. But yeah, anyway, this has gone an overly long video, so I'm sorry about that. I hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments if you have any answers for any of the questions, especially that bloody door mount thing, because if I can hang that telly up on the door, it solves the biggest obstacle to me sorting this room out. Other than that, I hope you're all well, and I'll chat to you at the weekend. Cheers.